Hey everybody, welcome to the On Deck podcast presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville here with Tyler Wiemann, about to break down a big old slate of games today in daily fantasy. 15 games on the docket for today.
Every game is playing.
Tuesday, June 28th. And last week on the show, we did talk about the big rivalry going on at the College World Series. And I'm not talking about the baseball, of course. I'm talking about the Jello shot challenge at the bar called Rocco's in Omaha. And Ole Miss did come away with 2 wins this weekend. Not only did they win the Men's College World Series, more importantly, a resounding win in Rocco's Jello shot challenge.
I'm proud of you, Ole Miss. You won the important one.
Get it, Rebels. Fans purchased 18,777 shots for the challenge, setting a massive new record for the local bar's annual challenge. Coming in second, Arkansas with over 8,000 shots. So those two schools combined for over 27,000 shots. And actually, some of the shots sold. All the money, $54,000, will be donated to universities' local food banks. So all for a good cause.
I think next year we might need to make a LineStar appearance.
Yeah, we need to
go on the road.
We need to get on the scoreboard there.
Yeah,
I think we could do it. Could throw down some Jello shots.
We can put some shots down.
Well, yeah. Got some experience back in college a little bit. All right, let's take a look at today's slate. Looking at some weather conditions that you should take note of because they're very hitter-friendly. We've got Wrigley Field, 80 degrees, winds blowing out at 10 miles an hour. And you guys know that when the weather's nice there, it just plays almost like a Coors Field effect. And speaking of Coors Field, it'll be 90 degrees there with winds blowing out at 5 to 10 miles an hour. So
hottest game on the slate.
A little bit better than yesterday, although the Dodgers last night let a lot of people down in terms of
that is very true.
No runs for them.
Chalk as a whole let people down. Yeah. Kirby let everybody down. The Dodgers let everybody down. We did mention, though, yesterday on the podcast that Cool is way better at home.
That he is. So we'll have to keep an eye on what's going on. We'll talk about that in a little bit. First things first, so right now, just be sure to hit like and subscribe and comment below. It helps us out and also keeps you up to date with all of our videos. So hit that like and subscribe button. Right now, we will get to our chalk report, though, and tell you about the high-owned pitchers for today in daily fantasy. The first guy we are going to talk about is going to be Carlos Rodon. He's on the hill today for the Giants, going up against the Tigers. 40% owned on DraftKings, 30% owned on Fanduel, and he's been pretty awesome. 2.70 ERA, 2.03 opponent average. Great numbers there. And last outing, just 1 earned run on just 3 hits in 7 innings. 10 strikeouts against the Braves, which they're a good team. So he's been lights out.
It does appear that he's back to his early season form where he was just perfect every single game. Over his last 3, he is averaging 7 innings, 8.6 Ks, and 0.3 earned runs over those 3 games. So he has been absolutely great. He has a good matchup. Detroit's below average offense, strike out 23% versus lefties. LineStar has a 4.5 star rating for him today.
Oh.
You know, it all looks good.
Alert, alert. What is our noise for? 5-star alert, alert. That's so our LineStar app gives you an alert. You can sort by alert score, which basically gives you players that have great matchups today. Right?
Yeah, we have a bunch of different emojis, kind of, and in the old format, it was all based on emojis. The new one is still based on emojis, but we also have an algorithm to break down 1-star to 5-star alert score.
It's way more fun to just do our siren sound effects than it is.
Absolutely.
I don't know what to do for emojis. I guess I could make the faces.
You can do the smiley face. What about the frowny face? You got that one?
Yep, got it. All right, let's take a look at Phillies righty Zach Wheeler going up against the Braves. 39% owned on DraftKings, 26% owned on Fanduel. Top 25 in ERA and strikeouts. That gets you a smiley face emoji. 2.77 ERA, 2.31 opponent average. Not as efficient as the Rangers last outing with 4 hits, 2 earned runs. He still had 8 strikeouts though, but he 99 pitches in like 4 1/3. So What do you see from him going up against the Braves today?
Wheeler has been really good this year. Mm-hmm. In his 13 starts, he's been in the perfect lineup, 8 of them.
Ooh.
So he has been
Tyler.
spectacular this whole season. Now, Atlanta, we know they are a dangerous offense, but they also strike out at a very high clip. The combined K rate today is 26.6%. So there is some solid upside here, while the Braves' run total is only 3.8. So
interesting.
They're saying, sportsbooks are essentially saying the Braves aren't going to score that many runs. We know Wheeler has upside, and he's had a 2.5 FIP over his last 20 starts. StatCast data looks good.
Yeah, he's been really good, basically.
There's no reason to run just because of the matchup.
Yeah. All right, good point. How about Mariners lefty Robbie Ray? He's going up against the Orioles today, 32% owned on DraftKings and 17% owned on Fanduel. Now, he's got a 4.07 ERA, 2.26 opponent average. He has been dialed in the last few games, hasn't allowed more than 4 hits in each of his last 3 outings, and hasn't allowed more than 1 run in that span as well. So he also had 10 strikeouts against the Angels, so we know that strikeout upside is there, and against the Orioles, who, like the Angels, do strike out a bit, if I'm correct on that stat. I believe that
they do. They
do.
do.
Strikeout numbers.
They, however, have hit Ray pretty good in the past. 70 plate attempts. They're hitting .333 with 4 home runs, and they have a 258 ISO. So they have hit him well, but Vegas does have a low 3.5 implied total for Baltimore. Baltimore is the second highest K rate versus lefties. Robbie Ray, meanwhile, 3.5 LineStar alert score, highest value projection on LineStar. And as a whole, Baltimore is a slightly below average. So below average offense, highest strikeout upside. I understand why everybody's going here.
If you were to do a power ranking of those 3 guys, who would you rank?
I think ownership has it right, where it's Rodon, Wheeler, and Ray.
Gotcha.
It's also somewhere salary-wise like that, too.
All right, let's take a look at some low-owned pitchers for today. First guy we're going to talk about is Yankees lefty J.P. Sears. He's going up against the A's today. Just 20% owned on DraftKings, and not a lot to go off of with Sears. 3 outings this season, 2 were in relief, so really only 7 innings altogether, but he hasn't given up a run, only 5 hits. Also, an interesting note, he's a Sumter, South Carolina native. You know who else is from Sumter, South Carolina? Jordan Montgomery, the other southpaw for the Yankees. All right. He does pretty good too. So maybe Sears something in the water in Sumter, South Carolina. What do you see from him today against the A's?
So Sears is a high-level pitching prospect. He dazzled in his last start, has the K upside. And in the minors, he's been around 70 pitches or so. So he's not going to reach the 100-pitch mark or something like that today. But he does strike out 11 per 9 in the minors. Oakland is a bad offense, and they like to strike out. We have a 4-star alert rating here. It's probably worth kind of taking a couple chances on Sears.
Yeah, I like that, especially against the A's.
Yeah, I mean, you pick on the A's, you pick on Detroit.
We'd love to pick on them.
Yeah.
They're headed to Vegas soon, right?
Maybe.
They might be headed to Vegas soon. All right, let's take a look at the Brewers righty Brandon Woodruff going up against the Rays today. Just 8% owned on DraftKings. Interesting one here because he has been out since late May with an ankle injury. And in addition, his recovery was slowed down by, he has this condition called Raynaud syndrome, which caused some numbness in his fingers. But prior to even heading to the IL, he was having kind of a rough season, 4.74 ERA, 2.46 opponent average. And he had given up a home run in, I think, his previous 5 contests, although he does have some strikeout potential.
He does.
So against the Rays, who are the best of hitters.
He is an elite pitcher, and it is his first start back, as you mentioned, but he did go 74 pitches in the minors, so I think he's going to be close to fully stretched out. So I wouldn't really worry that it's his first start. He has a 3.5 star alert rating, very high leverage score, but Tampa Bay has been good versus lefties, striking out only 17.5% and a 141 WRC plus in the month of June. So they have been very good versus lefties. But when it comes down to it, we have Woodruff, who is an elite pitcher. You're getting him at very low ownership. I like the upside here. And LineStar's combined K rate on him is 28.9%, which is the highest on the slate.
Okay. Ooh,
Yeah.
like that one. Let's talk about the flip side of that matchup. Rays righty, Shane Baz going up against the Brew Crew. 6% ownership there. 4.15 ERA, 191 opponent average. Only 3 games, so 13 innings for him. Last game, 1 earned run on 4 hits, 4 2/3 against the Yankees. He had 6 strikeouts in that. The one thing I saw here, do you think he's going to go far enough into the game to be valuable from a fantasy perspective? What do you see here? What's the path here, I guess?
I think he's going to be in a similar situation to Sears, maybe a few more pitches. He's been mid-70 pitches or so.
Okay.
But Baz was the number 8 prospect in all of baseball coming into the year, so he's a super highly touted pitching prospect. He has a really high K rate. Now Milwaukee over the last month, 21st in WRC plus and striking out 23.8%. And Baz has a solid K upside himself. There's almost a 25% combined K rate on LineStar here today.
Okay.
So really it's all about the upside with Baz and kind of trying to get a cheaper pitcher to maybe pair with one of those expensive guys.
To get a young player who's one of the prospects that no one's really caught on to yet, and they do really well.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. Love to see that. Let's talk about Rangers righty John Gray going up against the Royals today. 4.18 ERA for him, 2.22 opponent average. In June, though, he's been really good. 1.91 opponent average over 5 games, and his ERA in the month of June is 2.64. So much better numbers over the past 5 or so.
Yeah, and we're talking about a lot of low-owned pitchers today, and it was really just because some of these guys I couldn't leave off. Gray was one of them. 4.5 alert star rating on LineStar. He's been absolutely terrific over the last 5 games. 2.87 FIP, 29% K rate, which those numbers are elite. Those are, with the Rondons and the Wheelers and Woodruffs of the league. And over his last 3 starts, 6 innings, 7 Ks, 1 earned run has been his average stat line. So he's been great. KC in June has not been good. Bottom 5 offense, striking out 22.5%. There's just some nice upside here with Gray, low ownership.
All right. So that's a look at your pitchers for today. And since we have a really big kind of slate today with 15 games, is there any different strategies in terms of pitching that you would advise?
Well, I think it really kind of depends on what you're trying to do with your hitters. Mm-hmm. And also what contest you're playing.
Sure.
You need to try and get a little more different the bigger the field is. Whereas if it's a small field, you don't need to get that much different.
All right. Let's take a look at our stacks for today. And the high-owned stacks that everyone's going to today, they're still going back to the Dodgers. Yep. Even though they didn't deliver last night, they very well could today. Going up against Rockies lefty Kyle Freeland. This one again at Coors Field. And Freeland, 4.29 ERA, 2.74 opponent average. And unlike Chad Kuhl, who had good numbers at home, Freeland, not so much. 5.32 ERA at home with a 3.04 opponent average. So, we feeling the Dodgers today?
I am feeling them much more than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
It's the warmest game on the slate. We're in Colorado, and the winds are blowing out. All those weather factors are huge pluses. There's a game total that's 2 runs higher than anything else.
Wow.
In the game, in all the games. Due to yesterday's outing, too, if people are a little reluctant to play Dodgers,
that is a good point.
I will probably be hammering them.
Oh, yes. Yeah, for sure.
And, yesterday we noted Kuhl was better at home. Freeland, as you said, he's much worse on the at home. Mm-hmm. On the road, he's been borderline elite. Mm-hmm. He has a 4.15 FIP overall, but that takes in consideration both. He's been terrible at home. Mm-hmm. I like the Dodgers.
All right. How about the Pirates going up against the Nationals? It'll be the lefty Patrick Corbin on the hill for them. And he's got a 6.60 ERA, 3.22 opponent average. We do kind of like to go against Corbin when he's on the hill. And with the Pirates, who've got some pretty fun hitters, the youngsters.
They do.
Getting it done. Do you like them today, given their ownership is a bit high today?
I am not a huge fan.
Okay.
People keep wanting to stack Pitt, and I get it. They have super exciting young players, but versus lefties in the month of June, they have a 79 WRC plus, and they're striking out 28.7%.
Okay.
They have not been good versus lefties. Corbin isn't good either, so I understand why people are going here. 6 FIP over his last 5, 32% hard contact, high average exit velocity. But he does keep the ball down, 43% ground balls. So with how Pittsburgh is versus lefties, Corbin being good at keeping the ball on the ground, I'm not loving Pittsburgh, but I understand why people are going there.
So let's go to some lower owned stacks that we can maybe find some leverage and some value. We're first going to look at Cincinnati. They're going up against the Cubs today. It'll be the righty Keegan Thompson for them. 3.10 ERA for him, 2.24 opponent average. He's been doing well, but is this a situation kind of like a Coors Field effect where the weather's nice there?
It totally is.
Okay.
If there's another game that plays like Coors Field, this is going to be it. Wrigley, warm weather, 80 degrees, wind blowing out. This stadium, as we've talked about over and over throughout the season, when the wind's blowing out here, the ball really flies. Thompson allows 46.8% fly balls, 90 mile an hour average exit velocity, 5.47 FIP over the last 5. Cincinnati isn't exactly a juggernaut, but they can hit the ball hard. They can hit the ball out of the park, and with the weather assist, I kind of like it as low on play.
All right. So on the flip side of that matchup, looking at Cubs going up against Reds righty Luis Castillo, who also has some decent numbers, 3.71 ERA, 2.09 opponent average. Again, we're just playing this like a Coors Field game.
It is, and Castillo is solid. However, he hasn't been great against the Cubs. 94 plate attempts versus the Cubs, 370 average, 5 home runs, and a 284 ISO. So it's really a situation the Cubs have hit him well, and we have the good weather. So I don't mind I wouldn't mind stacking this game and totally fading the Coors game.
Speaking of that, the last time Wrigley Field was playing like Coors, we had a bet to see which one would have more runs today.
It was a little different, though.
Okay.
Because in Wrigley that time, it was warmer than it is in Colorado. It is now warmer in Colorado than Wrigley.
Okay, so you're bailing on Wrigley?
I would bail on Wrigley today against Colorado.
All right, let's take a look at our sleeper picks for today. And this is basically...
And by the way, I won that bet.
You did. Did you like how I conveniently left that part out?
Yeah. I also, real quick, before we go to sleepers,
sure.
real quick mention some other stacks. St. Louis, they're going against a lefty. It's always interesting. Seattle at home, they're way better at home. Texas looks good again. And Houston. Carrasco has just kind of got beat up versus Houston, so it's a little interesting.
All right, so some great plays there. As always, check out all the good information, and you can optimize your lineup at LineStarApp.com. With that, we'll take a look at our sleeper picks for today. And our sleeper pick on DraftKings is going to be first baseman for the Pirates, Michael Chavis, who is $2,000. Now, he didn't get the start yesterday. He got the day off. And a little risky here because he hasn't scored any fantasy points the past 2 outings. However, he does have a 300 average against left-handed pitching, and today going up against Nationals lefty Patrick Corbin. So it could pay off there. You could also consider Dodgers outfielder Trace Thompson, who's also only $2,000. He was 0 for 3 yesterday and batting 9th, which isn't ideal, but he did go 1 for 4 with 2 RBI, a stolen base, and a walk on Sunday. So definitely helped you out in fantasy if you had him on that day. And he's at Coors Field today. Yeah. So 2 really good options for DraftKings. Now taking a look at the sleeper pick on Fanduel, and we are going to Chicago. Outfielder Rafael Ortega is only $2,200 on Fanduel, and it is hitters weather at Wrigley Field. He's a left-handed bat going up against Reds righty Luis Castillo, who has worse splits versus lefty bats, and Ortega is much better against righty bats, or righty pitchers, that is. Gotten a hit in 5 of his last 7 games, including 2 multi-hit games, so we like that play as well for FanDuel.
Yeah, and he's another one that has a nice little speed power combo where he can steal a couple bases or hit you a home run, score some points in multiple ways.
There you go. So our sleeper picks Also, they're all available on the LineStar app, so check it out. You can get LineStar Premium. Lock in your membership right now. It's only $19.99 right now before football season starts. When football season starts, the price does go up to $29.99, which is still great value, but you just want to lock in that $19.99 per month price if you get it for September 8th. So check that out, linestarapp.com. Now it's time for our home run calls of the day. Everybody loves our home run calls segment. Everybody plays along on Twitter, and you can too. You can follow us at LineStar App, retweet us, let us know who you're tailing or your own home run pick. And if you get it right, you could win your choice of a free LineStar subscription valued at what will be eventually $29.99 per month. So you're getting some money, or just straight cash. Your choice. Who are you going with today for your home run call?
You know, I'm going with the guy that has not let me down this year. I think every single time I have picked him, he's hit a home run. We're going Yordan Alvarez. He's hitting .420 over the last month with 10 home runs. He has been on fire, and he's going against Carlos Carrasco, who he is 2 for 2 off with 2 home runs. Very small sample size, but I think he's going to hit a third today.
You mentioned Alvarez hasn't let you down. You know who hasn't let me down? Paul Goldschmidt. I'm going for a Goldie bomb today. He's going for home run number 300 on his career, and I think he does it today. He's going up against the Marlins lefty Braxton Garrett, who's giving up a 321 opponent average, and Goldie just demolishes lefties. 451 average and a 1384 OPS versus lefties. It's just crazy. And this one is at home for him, as if he needed another advantage, right? He has a 409 average at home, and 15 of his 19 home runs have come at home. He's going to get 300 right in front of that hometown crowd, and that is plus 310 on Fanduel if you're looking to place a bet on that. I love Goldie. He also has been so solid for me. He's just been awesome this year.
Oh, yes. He's insane.
This is crazy. All right, let's get to our prop bets of the day. And remember, we're playing a new contest. You can play along with our prop bets. All you have to do is hit the like button on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. And then just drop a comment below. You can give us a little emoji, thumbs up. If both of us get our prop bet picks correct, one randomly selected commenter, you get $60. All of our prize picks are available at Underdog Sports app, and you can use the link below. And if you're a new user and you deposit at least $10, you will get your deposit matched up to $100. So that's a lot of free money right there with that promotion.
I like it.
So take advantage of it. The link is below. So our prop bets for today, Tyler, where are you headed?
On Underdog, I really like the Brandon Woodruff over 83.5 pitches. As I mentioned, he's gone 74 pitches in the minors up into this start. He's making his first start in the majors. I think he's going to be able to get to 90 pitches, possibly a little higher. He's going to be almost fully stretched out. So I think that 83.5 is just too low.
And I think a lot of people will probably be taking the under in that one, assuming that,
probably,
hey, he's probably not stretched out yet. Yeah. So, but Tyler did the research. He knows what's going on. All right, I got to go back to Goldie for my prop bet today. Paul Goldschmidt, over 1.5 bases. That is at minus 115. Yeah, he's hit that mark in 11 of the last 14 games. Hey, this is the guy with the best batting average right now in baseball at 347. Against left-handed pitching, 451. And at home, where he has a 409 average. And I looked up this stat. He has only failed to reach that 1.5 bases mark at home once this month. Like, in 11 home games in June, he's hit that bases mark in 10 of 11.
I like it.
Pretty good odds there for today. That is at minus 115 and also available on the Underdog Sports app. Remember, if we both hit it, you can win, so drop a comment below.
You know, I do have another one that I found today that is just too...
It's 2 for Tuesday.
Too much value to pass up. Freddie Freeman, over 0.5 RBIs, is plus 120.
Nice.
We have an 11 game total in Colorado. Weather's super good for hitting. I would be shocked if he doesn't hit it at plus money.
That's a great bet as well. Because you're liking Coors Field today.
I am.
You're bailing on Wrigley for that bet. Okay, so you take Coors Field. I'll take Wrigley today.
Ooh, all right. All right. We're
so
back.
whoever has more runs. Has to do a Jello shot, just like Old Miss Rebels style.
Well, bring it on. I hope I lose.
All right, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to drop a comment below. Let us know how you're doing fantasy. And good luck to you in all your bets. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks. Bye.